This is
house, tucked behind the contractor's van that's been sitting there since Monday. It's too big for the drive, so the owners leave it on the street, and he thanks them silently each morning for their consistency. Consistency is a good thing, as is preparation. It's not just key, it's everything. You can't just decide to take someone, not someone like Ellie, anyway. People like her. She has people who will miss her. Friends and family who won't wait a minute longer than they have to when it comes to calling the coppers. He glances at the dashboard clock. 09:59. At exactly 10 o'clock she appears, like clockwork. It's one of the things he admires about her. The self-discipline. The commitment. Qualities he likes to think he shares himself. Out she comes, wheeling her bike down the short garden path. She's fresh-faced, not a trace of makeup. Her skin still clinging to the softness of girlhood. Short hair, the colour of honeyed chestnuts, tucked behind one ear. She is petite, like a little bird, but with a quiet, assured grace in the way she moves, like someone who doesn't need to make herself stand out to be noticed. One anomaly he spots is she has no helmet. That's a big risk to take. She should really wear one. Her rucksack is light blue, with a dangling keyring in the shape of a strawberry. Something childish about that. Maybe she's kept it for sentimental reasons from when she was younger. He likes that. It shows she is still grounded, not like some of the other young women on her course. Many of them are already too hardened, too worldly, a bit too brazen for their own good. Not Ellie. She still lives with her parents, still pecks her mum on the cheek before she leaves, even if she doesn't know he can sometimes see it through the front window. She still says goodbye to the family dog, and she still cycles to college even when it rains. He watches her mount the bike and pedal off. She's steady, confident. She turns right at the end of the street, same as always. He waits 3 seconds, then starts the engine, and rolls out slowly, keeping at least 3 cars between them. She doesn't know how closely he's been watching. How deeply he knows her. Her timetable, her route, the way she sometimes nibbles the end of her pen when she's trying to concentrate. He's seen that. It thrills him to study her from the safety of his car, parked under the sycamores outside the college. A perfect spot, unnoticed, like an old abandoned coat draped across a fence. He's got her routine pinned down so well, he could draw her day blindfolded. She reaches the college gates and chains the bike to the rack on the left, 3rd one down. She's completely oblivious to all that's around her, doesn't even check. Of course not. Why would she? He parks where he always does, in the next street over, and walks the long way round, a takeaway coffee in hand so he looks like he's waiting to pick someone up. From here, he can see the back entrance. She won't use it, but it's still good to have eyes on all exits. There's a pleasure in that, the coverage, the breadth of his knowledge. At 15:07, she emerges. Slight delay today. Maybe a question from her tutor. She has that kind of face. People stop her, ask things, expect her to be helpful. And she